Right, a 1-all draw away at a very very wet Maine Road. Can you just give me your overall thoughts on the game?
Yeah, I think you're right, Luke. Certainly, it's very wet. It's the rain's still dripping down the back of my neck. But do you know what? I thought it was a real good old school game of football. Thought both teams were really committed. From our perspective, I think we're disappointed that we haven't taken the 3 points, because I certainly think the second half and the pressure that we applied to Maine Road, we've done more than enough to win the game. Created a lot of chances, but unfortunately, if you don't take your chances, you're not going to win games of football. But the one thing that we questioned with the lads last week was, the commitment, the desire, the effort, and I think anyone that's come to Maine Road today has seen a real committed, battling performance, and we can't fault any effort and any of the commitment that the players have put in today. It's just probably a little disappointing that we haven't come away with the 3 points, we're just coming away with one.
Yeah, like you said though, with the constant battling from the first minute to the very very final. Where do you think that is the Chevy way of how we do things?
Well, I think you look at the way we started the game. Obviously, we've gifted them a goal in the first minute. We've given possession away really sloppily under no pressure, and the lads finished it well. And probably then that's given us 10 minutes where we're a little bit disjointed and getting a little bit frustrated with things. But once we did that, I thought we took control of the game. But that said as well, Brad has made one great save in the first half, and then the save he's made in probably the 5th minute of injury time has earned us a point, because that's a great chance for Maine Road, and Brad's pulled out a worldy save for it. So probably in terms of the goal we've scored ourselves, maybe indicative of our playing, it was a bit of a scrappy goal, and it was always going to take maybe something like that to get us back in the game.
Yeah, but you have got to think. Now it's the middle of September. You now know how the team overall is. What does that what impact does that make at this point of the year?
Well, I think, obviously, in terms of we look at the team, the squad, we brought Foley in this week as well, who once Foley gets up to match fitness is going to be a really good addition to the club. I think we still need to bring one or two in. We said on Tuesday night that maybe with a small squad we've got, one or two players were maybe a little bit comfortable about it. We've made some changes today as well. But let's be really positive today, because Maine Road are a decent side there. They were 4th in the league. And I think it just shows how far we've come as a team this season, that we come into a team that's in the top 4, and all the lads there in the changing rooms absolutely gutted that they haven't got the 3 points, and we're just coming away with a point. But the positive for me as well is, in the league now, away from home, we're unbeaten all season. So, they always say if you can win your home games and you can take points away from home, then you can have a decent season. So, we've got to be pleased with the start of the season we've had. Last couple of games have probably dipped off a little bit, and we've not had the wins that maybe we would have liked to. But we've had some really tough away games so far this season, and I think we've coped admirably in all of them.
Do you feel like our key to success this season will be consistency, like you mentioned, being unbeaten so far? Where
Consistency is always the key in any team. If you're going to do well, you've got to be consistent throughout the course of the season. In this league, any team could beat anyone on the day, but the team that finishes, in the top, the team that finishes in the playoffs, are going to be the ones that have been consistent throughout the season. And being consistent means turning up, doing the right things week in, week out. Coming to tough places, doing your job, grinding things out. So, yeah, consistency is a bit of a key for us. If we have any concerns at the moment, it's probably the output in the final third, that we'd like to be scoring a few more goals than we are. But equally, I think, you strip the first minute out and we've looked really tight. Brad, like I said, made a couple of saves, which Brad does. But apart from that, I think we've looked defensively quite solid as well today.
Like you mentioned, with the issues in the final third, how much do you believe that is a problem, considering at the rest of the pitch, we are looking very solid until we get up to that point.
Yeah, it's a concern because, of course, the only way you win football matches is by scoring goals, and at the moment we're probably not scoring enough goals. I'd be more worried if we weren't creating the chances. You know, we certainly created a lot of chances today. You know, I thought we played some really good football. You know, there was a lot of rain today. The pitch was quite heavy and it was cutting up a bit second half. But I thought we played some good football. We've created chances, and you know, we've just got to bury those chances. And you know, I've been around football a long time. All it takes sometimes is for you know, one to going off somebody's backside, and then the floodgates open, and at some point, you know, there will be some team will be on the end of a hiding because we will take our chances in a game. So, but that's just football. You know, we know what we need to work on, and we're doing as much as we can in training to try and rectify it.
Overall, it feels like we can take the positives, but it's slowly starting to feel like it is happening week in, week out. What are you going to take from the last couple of weeks to the game on Saturday?
Well, obviously, you know, we've got to, first of all, you know, management and coaching staff, we always look for the positives from the game, and there were a lot of positives for us today. You know, we've got a cup game next week against Thornton, so it might be an opportunity to give one or two a rest and maybe try one or two players. Obviously, we've got, you know, certainly one or two who will be unavailable. We're going to have to assess LG there because he looked to have pulled up right in the last minute with his hamstring. So we'll assess some of the injuries, but you know, we've got to be confident because our away form's been really good, Luke. So we'll go into the game full of confidence. We'll be back in training Tuesday, and we'll look forward to it.
Final one, Roy. You mentioned Thornton Cleveland next week, and this season we have already played them, beaten them, and it was also away. Does that give the players an extra bit of confidence to go and do it again?
Well, it should give them confidence because they know they can go to places like that and they can win. However, I would say that, you know, Thornton have had a really good start to the season themselves. We know it's going to be a tough game because it's a tough place to go to, and you know, we've got to go there with the right attitude. Just because we've beaten them there once this season will count for nothing next week, because as soon as that game kicks off, it's 0-0, and they'll be looking to avenge the defeat as well. So we need to be on it. And like you said there, consistency is the key because we've put everything in today. We need to put the same amount of effort and application into next week, and throughout the rest of the season, I'm sure we'll be fine.
Thanks for your time, Roy. See you at Thornton Cleveland.
Cheers, Luke.